Hey guys, it's Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a full techno track. We're going to be going through literally every single thing that you need to make a track in style of like 1605, Filth on Acid, that style that's really popular right now. As usual, you can get this full template, the MIDI, presets, samples, and the project file is all available at the top of the description on my Bandcamp. This is just $10 and you get this really solid track template that you can then go and turn into your own tracks, or you can just follow along and learn from it or grab different elements from it. In any case, again, the link is at the top of the description. This really helps support me and keep me going. You know, I don't make a whole lot just off of these videos. The ad money's not really good. But with these samples and different stuff like this, I'm able to keep going and keep bringing you guys new videos every single day. So thank you so much for the support, guys. Definitely go grab that. And let's dive in. So we're on 130 BPM, and the first thing up here is going to be the kick. Now the kick is made of 3 layers. So we have our main kick, which you can see is just dry. We have our rumble bass, which is made, basically you can see we have, this is playing 16th notes. And then it's going through a little bit of reverb, as well as this utility here, which is converting it to mono. I have a low pass filter, a little bit of drum bus, and then it's being sidechained to the kick, and there's some EQ. And this is the bass line. So you put those two together, and then on top of that we add this layer. So you can hear this is just adding some punch to the kick. And the way this is made is we take the kick, it's the same kick that we're using for the bass and for the main kick, and then what we're doing is we're high passing it, distorting that, so we just get that nice crunchy distortion on the mids and highs. Because you can see if you don't high pass it before the distortion, right, it's just going to be fatter if you clean that out. And then we just high pass it again. And then on the group of those, we really don't have much processing. It's just these two filters. Yeah, you can see we got one. It's just a high pass, which has got some automation throughout the track, especially like in the break, like kind of makes it disappear. And then we also have this low pass filter here. And you can see I actually have automation on the resonance at the end there to kind of make that a little bit juicier sounding. But yeah, so those are just for automation, kind of like transitioning the kick throughout the track. And yeah, then after that we have this rolling bass. So this is just playing steady 16th notes throughout the track. Yeah, you can see it does like that. Kind of like switches between octaves and then just one octave. And over here it's just following the chord progression in the break here. But yeah, so the way this one's made, as you can see, we have an arpeggiator here doing 16th notes. And then I've got 2 wavetables. So you can see one is just like this steady square wave with a low pass filter with an envelope on it. And this next layer underneath it, you can see, it's just this West Coast fold layered with BRDS dual saw. So yeah, and I really like using wavetable for this because you can really like get some interesting textures. You know, I think with this type of sound, you don't want to have too much like of just that bland like square wave or saw wave on its own kind of sound. It's like you get the fat square waves or a saw wave if you want, and then adding in this layer kind of gives it that texture that you can't get any other way. Then we just have a phaser on this, which doesn't have any LFO, so it's just kind of being used like a filter, basically. Here's without it. And then with it. See, it gives you that nice, juicy kind of sound. I actually have a limiter on this, which might seem a little bit odd, but yeah, it's just one of those things that can really push this and make it feel a lot more like alive and just energetic. Here's without it. Really subtle, but it just makes it a bit fatter. And then we have this compressor side chaining it to the kick. We have this high pass filter, which you can see goes up in the break. There's also this one here. which is like kind of moving like that. We also have a low pass filter here, which just kind of makes this disappear. And also brings it in the intro. So yeah, and then we just have this little effect sound here. And so yeah, so what this is you can see like, so this track is split into A, B, and C, right? There's 3 parts to the track. And you want to have some stuff that you only hear in like this part. Same thing as like down here. You see how in A and a little bit into B, there's all these little like effects and different background sounds and stuff. So yeah, so we've got that in there, but then we don't have any of it in C. And then in C, this item is basically our little sound that just comes in there. It's just adding a little bit more groove, you know, it's simple, it's subtle, but it sounds really nice in there. And that's just going through a little bit of reverb there and an auto pen. It's like this little vocal sample. And yeah, so then we have the hi-hats. And these are pretty steady, you know, just like a nice layered main hi-hat. So we have like a then we have this hi-hat and this one. And these are actually made with the same sample, but you can see one of these has like a bit of saturation on it and some reverb. And a little bit of EQ. And then this one is set up to just be the highs, and then there you go, you put that underneath that. And that's all you need. And then we just have like a little tambourine. This is one of mine. 16th note hi-hat. Pretty simple there. Then we have our lead. So the lead is actually made up of a few different layers. So the idea with this is we have this pattern. And then what we're doing is we're going across 4 synths here. And kind of layering it to make it sound really full. So what we're doing is like we have this layer which plays the whole little pattern. Here's the actual MIDI. We have this one which is playing the whole pattern. And then we layer that with this which is just playing the high notes. And then we have this little 303 which doubles up that low note. So you see, you kind of have like these two playing together. And then they're like kind of, yeah, you can hear how that like fits over top of the main synth. And so this makes your lead a lot more powerful. This is actually what I've done on my 1605 releases, especially T4, T9. I did this a lot. That's kind of where I learned this method, was making that track actually. And yeah, it just makes it sound like really fast. And really powerful. So for the 303, you can see, you know, it's pretty standard saw wave, bandpass with an envelope. Got some distortion, a little bit of echo as well to give it some space. This is lead 1. You can see it's just this wavetable patch. We got a saw wave and a square wave. Bit of unison, some saturation, and just a bit of EQ. The high one here, you can see it's just a square wave with a bit of drum bus. And then this one is made, so it's 2 layers, it's this. And then this one which has no unison. So it's the same kind of layering technique. I've actually been showing you guys a lot recently where you just take one that has unison, one that doesn't, and then you get this really fat sound. Then we also have actually a bit of multi-band distortion on that. So yeah, you can see you got the highs, or this is the mids, highs, and then lows have no distortion. Here's without this, and then with it. So it's a good way to make it really fat. And then on the group here of these layers, so I kept these kind of like in one group, and then the 303 is on its own for mixing purposes. So we just have a bit of echo, a bit of reverb, this auto pan which makes it bounce off of the kick. High pass filter, a little bit of EQ, low pass which is just kind of like moving this through the arrangement a little bit, kind of bringing it in there. And then we have this echo which is doing like this tape stop effect here. So we just automate the dry wet, and then you send these like going down, and there you go. So then we have these little things in the break here. It's actually some vocals that I reversed. They just kind of give you some nice atmospheric hits there. Just going through some reverb. A bit of drum bus brings out the reverb. We have a ride. And yeah, so this you can see we have a bit of stereo widening happening on here actually. That's all this is doing. It's just like some reverb, a very fast echo, which is on the ping pong setting. And then this we're doing, so basically what you're getting here is it's the Haas effect only on the highs. On the mids we have a little utility just boosting the width. And then the lows are just dry. We don't have anything on the lows. And yeah, then we have this break bass. So here's the pattern on this. We're in the key of C sharp minor, so we're using like root note, 4th, 6th, minor 7th. Pretty basic. And then for the actual sounds, so it's 2 layers. So it's this like wavetable thing where, yeah, it's the same thing I was talking about with the lead, where you have one which has a bunch of unison, and then one with no unison. You get that really full sound. And we have a high pass. And then this one is actually a sub made with analog. So you can see it's 2 square waves. Low pass filter, a bit of drum bus. And then when you put those together in the group, we have this. So this EQ here is actually just cutting out like some low frequencies that you wouldn't really be able to hear, but they can make it kind of like mud up the mix a little bit. And then after that, we have a utility, which is just converting the bass to mono. We've got this low pass filter, which just kind of brings this in here. This washout, which makes it disappear. And then a high pass filter to bring it in. And yeah, so then we have kind of like these background like stabs. So yeah, you can see the first one here is just like a nice boom kind of sound. So this is just made with these 2 oscillators inside a wavetable, just 2 saw waves detuned a bit. We have a low pass which has like this long envelope on there. I've got, yeah, so you can see noise unison. We have a bit of that phaser, some reverb, a multi-band distortion, just doing the highs, mids, lows, a little bit of drum bus, a high pass filter, and then just an auto pan to make it bounce off of the kick. These 2 are both made with operators, so these are kind of like this one. You can see it's just a bunch of sine waves doing some FM, a little low pass, and then this one. Yeah, this is also just 4 sine waves here. You can see the chorus pitches are all at different settings, and then we just have a bit of chorus, distortion, high pass. You know, pretty simple sounds. Echo, reverb on there. And then this one. So here we have a few different ones. Like I have some, like this one, which I made with wavetable, which is just like a saw wave, low pass filter with a lot of resonance, and a little bit of an LFO on that. A bunch of unison as well. And then we just have a bit of EQ, flanger, reverb, distortion, high pass, and then auto pan. This one is like an audio. Very nice juicy sound there. This is also an audio stab, one of mine. These two kind of work together. You get like that little at the end there. We have another little operator stab, which is a really similar patch to those ones I just showed you. And then we just have like a little clap which plays with that. See, if you could have like two of these play together, kind of doing that, kind of creating one groove like that, that's what you want. Or like how it's like these two, like kind of creating that. That's really what you're going for. That's what's going to be the most impactful. And yeah, and then on the group of all that stuff, you can see we actually just have like a little bit of just echo and reverb. Actually, just a low pass filter on that one, excuse me. But yeah, so, you know, pretty simple stuff, but these little background steps are really important because if you don't have these, it's going to be kind of missing something. Like, you really need actually to have, like, all that little background stuff to kind of keep it moving and keep it alive. And then down here you can see we have all the effects. So these are all pretty simple. You know, most of these are just like audio effects. We do have, however, like a little bit of like a snare just building up. You can see, yeah, with just like a little bit of volume automation. White noise with a filter as well. This is like a little effect melody I made. You know, really simple, just in C# minor, we have like root note, minor third, ninth, fifth, root note again. And that's just wavetable with a square wave, and then like a little bit of phaser, a little bit of chorus, echo, reverb, saturation. It's just a nice way to kind of like transition there rather than having like some like white noise sweep or something like that. But yeah. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project file, samples, MIDI, presets. The whole template is available right at the top of the description on my Bandcamp. This is really gonna help support me. You know, again, like I said, I don't make a whole lot just off of these videos, but with these, I'm able to keep going and keep bringing you guys new videos every single day that sound better than anything else out there on the internet. So thank you so much for all the support, guys. Every sale really helps, and if you enjoyed my videos, definitely go grab this. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.